Hi, Sana family. It's Teresa, Elias here. I am really excited to be joining you today to talk about share lists. Before we get started, I know we usually wait a few minutes to wait for people to join the meeting. I'm also really sorry I can't be going live with you because I love answering your questions on the spot live, but if you have any questions about what I talk about today, please just leave them in the comments and make sure to tag me, and I will follow up with you tomorrow as soon as I can, and hopefully we can get all of your questions answered. So while we're waiting, I want to tell you guys a quick story. So I recently visited my family in California. We went to Knott's Berry Farm. And if you've ever been there, or, you know, a lot of times they have these at the state fairs, they have the people who say that they can guess your age within a couple years. And so, you know, I've been using my Celavive pretty consistently over the last year and a half, so I thought I'd put it to the test. So when we were there, I gave them my $5. The girl there asked me a few questions, what foods I like to eat and what music I listen to and what my favorite activities are. And then she guessed that I was 26, and I about died because I'm 35, I'm almost 36. And so I think that kind of goes to show using the Celavive definitely has helped me. And for comparison, when I went out to the bars when I turned 21, I didn't even get carded. So it's almost like I'm aging in reverse now. So the point of this story is just, you know, take every advantage this summer when you're out with your family. If you go to a theme park or the state fair or anything like that, make sure to put Celavive to the test and see if you can get kind of a little self-esteem boost at the same time. The other thing that I always love to mention to you guys when I have the chance to talk to you is, you know, making sure that when you're talking to customers and even your team members about our products is that, you know, making sure that they're taking them regularly and how we put on the bottle the instructions. So the Cell Essentials, you're supposed to take 2 in the morning of each, and then 2 at night of each of the Cell Essential or the Vita Antioxidant and the core minerals. It's really important, especially for a new person, to get into this habit and really commit to taking it morning and night, because that's where they're going to feel the most benefit from the product, and that's going to make them more likely to want to reorder from you. So make sure that you're really stressing that, and that, you know, really you get that commitment from them that for the next 28 days when they're on the product, they are going to commit to taking it morning and night. Another thing I wanted to mention to you guys before we get started, have you guys seen the new customer welcome pack? It is awesome. So let me show you how you can find that on the hub so you can see what your new customers are receiving. So I'm just going to go ahead and log in here. And go into the hub. So here we are, and if you go to the training section and then you click on this link right here, Customer Welcome Packet, you'll be able to see all the information that we provide every new customer that you get in their first order. They receive a great little brochure about the USANA lifestyle, all the things that we think are important. You know, a healthy lifestyle is not just taking your supplements every day. It's also having a low glycemic diet. It's watching how much sleep you're getting. It's staying hydrated, being mindful, all of that information. So we want to make sure that this information is available to your customer for improving that customer experience, that first touch point when they receive their first order. There's a shopping guide in there that kind of shows some low glycemic foods they can purchase. On the opposite side, there's a short workout brief that they can read and review, and workouts that they can do at home. There is a mini product brochure included in there as well. And then there's a card about the True Health Foundation. It's really important that we kind of highlight that we don't just sell supplements, that we are really focused on creating that healthiest family on earth. And part of that is giving back. And so your customer receives all of this. In addition to this beautiful packet, they're also receiving emails from us. And so it's called you'll hear this a lot, the Welcome Drip campaign. So essentially what that is they're receiving one email from us once a week that talks about different things. So the first one welcomes them. It explains the benefits of becoming a PC. The second email they receive the second week includes a customer survey. And we really want you to encourage them to send that feedback back to us. We do read those comments and we do act on those. So it's really important that your customers really look at that and send that survey information back to us. The third week is really important because that's when your customer, if they're not already on auto order, it's when they should be signing up for auto order, because it does take a few days to get their products in, and we don't want them to run out and then forget to reorder or decide that they don't want the products anymore. So this reorder email goes out the third week, and it would be great, you know, in your mind as you're looking at your customers, making sure that you're following up with them as well. You know, send them a text. How are you doing? How are you liking the products? Is there anything I can help you with, or any changes you want to make? It would be great to kind of follow up on that third email. And then the final email that we send is just kind of telling them, we're really glad that you're here. If you're interested, if you've had a good experience with the products, you may be interested in becoming a USANA associate, and we tell them to reach back out to you. But again, this is a really great spot for you to also reach out to them. So just know that this information is here and available for you. All of these resources, you can download them to take a closer look. There's also some assets on the Share USANA Media Center that you can access as well, talking about this great resource and what your customers are receiving from us. Again, that's under the training section, and then the customer welcome packet right here. All right, and then the last thing that I just wanted to mention before we get started and go through the whole share list process, I don't know if you guys had noticed in the checkout on mobile, there were sometimes some difficulties in inserting all of the credit card information. Some of the needed information, like the CVV number or the credit card number, was off screen, and it was very difficult for users to know that was there. That has been fixed. And so if you are sending people, you know, text messages with links and things, just know that that has been fixed, and so there shouldn't be any problems in a person receiving a text message, viewing everything on mobile, adding products to their cart, and then ultimately purchasing all through the mobile experience. So that has been fixed. All right, so share list. This is such a great feature that our IT department has worked on for us. And I want you to know first and foremost that we do have more information about it on the Hub. So as you're watching this, you can always reference this information back. Right now it's in a little bit of a hidden spot, and so I want to make sure that you know where it is. We have discontinued the True Health Assessment, but what we want to do is kind of transition people from thinking about the assessment into these share lists. So right now the share list information is under the True Health Assessment area under my business, but that's going to be transitioning to its own link, share list link, starting April 1st. So the share list information will actually be right here. But for now, it's kind of hidden under the True Health Assessment information and the FAQs on that. But we have FAQs on the share list, all of this great information. We have information about making product suggestions and how you can do that. These are our suggestions. If you have other suggestions as far as your experience talking with people and recommending products, we'd love to hear that. So if you have any of that information to share, please mention it in the comments. And then if nothing else, if all of the information that we go over in this video we go too fast or anything like that, just know that there's step-by-step instructions on the Hub as well, how to use these share lists. And then finally, we have some best practices as far as recommending products as well. All right, so let's talk about how to use them. So I think the first thing to think through is, what is the process of talking to a new customer? You've made a connection with someone, they've mentioned like, oh yeah, I might be interested in learning more about these products. But really we want you to get to know them a little bit more so that you can recommend the products that would be best for them. Remember too that always a good starting point is the Cell Essentials. The Cell Essentials and the optimizers were created to work together. So you should never be taking the optimizers without taking the Cell Essentials. The Cell Essentials provide the base products that the nutrients, vitamins and minerals that every single body needs, and that's your baseline. And then on top of that, that's where you add the optimizers and the foods and all of those products. They all sit on top of the foundation of the Cell Essentials, the antioxidant and the core minerals. So always keep that in mind. The other thing to keep in mind, and it's in this best practices area, especially for a new customer, you don't want to overwhelm them with too many products, especially if they're not used to that regimen and the routine of taking the products morning and night. So you have to be really careful about not wanting to make too many recommendations and overwhelming a new person, especially if they're not used to taking any supplements at all. All right, so what I've done is I've opened up my Facebook page here, and I'm going to right now open up shop as well. So I have that ready to go. So I've met a few people and I think they might be interested in taking our products. So I met this Nick guy at the gym and, he mentioned that he might be interested. So I'm just going to go ahead and send him a quick message. And, you can use some of the information on this hub page. If you scroll down, there's some questions that we kind of give you just to get started. So this first question here, is there a specific type of nutritional product you're looking for? I'm going to go ahead and lead off with that. So, hey Nick, let's see, this is Teresa. I met you last night at the gym. You were interested in USANA. Is there a particular type of nutritional product you'd be interested in? All right, so I sent him a quick message. So while we're waiting for that, let's look at another person that I met. So this is actually a coworker of mine, and I'm gonna kind of ask her the same thing. So interested in learning more about USANA products. Is there something in particular you were looking for in terms of weightlifting? All right, so we're waiting for that. So in the meantime, again, there are a lot of resources on the hub. So one of the other things I wanted to point out to you guys, so again, this is under the making product suggestions. We have the most popular products in each of our markets listed out here. So if you're not confident in kind of what recommendations you like to make, this is a good starting point. So, the Cell Essentials, Health Pack, Proflavanol, Biomega, Coquinone, Percosa, and Probiotic are our most popular products. So those are really great ones to start with. The other thing is that make sure that you're thinking about what products you take, and so that you can feel confident in kind of those recommendations. All right, so Nick wrote us back. So let's see what he said. So he's not sure where to start as far as supplements. He is saying he's running a Spartan race in July with his brother. So he was looking for specific products that might help as they start training. So that's great. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Spartan, but it's like obstacle course racing. So it's going to be really hard on his joints. Okay. So think about that. So, okay, maybe Percosa might be a good one to recommend. Of course, we want to start with Cell Essentials as well. And then, it's really hard on the cardiovascular system, and Proflavanol is really great for cardiovascular health. So I'm just going to respond to Nick and say, this is great. I think I know what might work for you. Let me put together some recommendations. Okay, and it looks like Melissa is going to need some help figuring out what she needs. So I'm going to say, no problem, I can help with that. First, we're going to ask, is she taking a multivitamin? So we all know, like the one-a-days, they're not enough. So you're always going to recommend the Cell Essentials, but it's still good to know whether they are taking that or not. So I'm going to ask first, are you already taking a multivitamin? And while we kind of wait for that answer, we're going to go create the share list for Nick. Okay, so remember, Nick is looking for supplements to help him with training for a Spartan race, an obstacle course race. So we're going to go to the shop page. We're going to go straight to nutritionals. And we're going to, of course, add the Cell Essentials, right? That's core. So we're going to make a new list. And we're going to add the Cell Essentials. So I also thought proflavanol might be a good one for him because of the cardiovascular thing. So we're going to add it to this list too right here. And then definitely a joint health supplement for Nick and his brother. You know, there's so many other products that we could add. You know, Magna-Cal D is great for bones, and probiotic for gut health, and Biomega is also great. But remember that we don't want to overwhelm someone if they're brand new with the products. So I'm just going to leave it at that, and I'm going to click on this manage share list so that I can finish this up for him. All right, so you see I already made a marathon pack here. And this list too is the ones that we picked out for Nick. So the Cell Essentials, proflavanol, and Precosa. So when you're in this screen where you're managing the share list, you can search by product right here, and that makes it super easy. So say, you know, Nick wanted something specific, or maybe he was interested in more of the foods products, the Nutri-Meal. You can add that right here. And you can do that, and it's super easy. So you don't even have to go back into the shopping cart if you don't want to. But for now, I'm just going to leave it to this order right here. We got the Cell Essentials, proflavanol, and Precosa. I'm going to edit the name. It's really important that you keep these lists managed with the names. So I'm just going to say Nick's. That's fun, right? So I'm going to save that. So it's named. I have his products here. I'm going to click on this share link. And the great thing is it copies it already to your clipboard, so it's ready to go. Oh, it looks like Melissa wrote me back. So I'm going to finish this recommendation to Nick. So I'm going to make sure that I tell him why I'm picking certain products for him, not just send him the link. So I think you would be great to start with a core multivitamin. Sana's is the best. It's called Cell Essentials. I also think a joint support supplement would be great for you in this case. And I've also recommended a cardiovascular support. Click this link and you'll see all the products right there. The other thing that's important is when you're using these share lists, that automatically once someone clicks on it, they are getting the 10% off. So you can always put that in your pitch as well. If you use this link, you'll save 10% on all the products. And I added the link there. All right, so we took care of Nick. Okay, well, Melissa she's not taking a multivitamin now, so that's great because we know that we can help her out with the Cell Essentials. So I'm gonna say, okay, no problem. I think our core multivitamin is perfect for you. I also, when I was talking to Melissa earlier, I know she may have some skin, be interested in kind of like improving her skin. So I'm going to mention that and see if she'd be interested in trying Celavive. Oh, you were interested in maybe some advanced skincare products. Is that still the case? If so, what is your skin type? Sometimes people don't know what skin type they are, so you can specify like, is it more oily or more dry? All right, so while we wait for that, again, like with this list here, I kept it super simple. Again, you don't want to overwhelm people. The other thing with the share list that you can do is you can create your own favorites pack if you have specific products you love to tell people about. You can totally do that. And again, you don't even have to go into the shopping cart. You can just go into the search and you can find the products that you love. So of course, you know, I love Celavive, so I'm gonna go, you know, maybe the dry sensitive pack is one of my favorites to recommend for people. Of course, the Cell Essentials, keeping it simple. We can also, you know, add in some of our favorite optimizers and the Nutrimeal. So look at how simple it is to just kind of make that list. This is also great for 28-day programs. You can put them in like this as well, and have those ready to go so that when people ask you about these things, you have a list that you can just send them and it's super easy. Again, you create that share list or share link here. You use that and you can send that off. So Melissa would love to try skincare. She needs to start paying attention to wrinkles like we all do. Okay, so mostly have dry skin, but I'm dry in parts, so our oily combination pack would be great. I think I have some products that would work. The other thing to remember too is combining different products from different groups and different categories to kind of create your own pack. So we also have a lot of great supplements that are great for skin. Biomega is great for skin because the omega-3s. So I'm gonna see if that's something that Melissa would be interested in. So I'm gonna say, just out of curiosity, you eat fish at least 3 times a week. If not, you may not be getting enough omega-3s, which are fantastic for skin. All right, so the other thing I want to show just really quick, if you're like, how do I even get to this screen? So let's go back to just the regular screen. So again, this icon here, if you're in the shopping cart, you can use this icon to add products to lists. You can either add it to a new list or something that you have existing. You can do that, and then you can go to get to the manage share lists here. Or if I go back, you can also go under your name. Manage share list is also here. So kind of keep that in mind. There's a few ways to get there. Okay, so Melissa doesn't eat a lot of fish, so great. So I think we know how to create a list for her. So let's see, she's interested in Celavive, and so we're gonna recommend the combination oily for her. And then we're gonna want the Cell Essentials in this for the multivitamin. And it sounded like maybe she'd be interested in Biomega because she doesn't get enough omega-3s. So we have the 3 products for Melissa. We're gonna name it here, Melissa's Picks. And that's named, and then I'm gonna grab that share list, that share link for her. It's already copied to my clipboard, so I can get back to her. again, you want to make sure that you're telling them why you picked the products for them. So here are the products that I think would work for you. There's a Celavive pack for your skin type, a multivitamin that you take twice a day, and also a omega-3 supplement. Remember, if you use this link, you'll save 10% automatically. And sent that to her. So I have these two links here. So one thing that I saw in the comments before, you know, you want to make sure that these links are working properly. So let's just take a look. So when someone clicks on the link, they're seeing the welcome to USANA message. It says these products were recommended for you. You see them in here. So sometimes you'll see there, it looks like other products have been added to this order. This is kind of a caching issue. And so if you want to see what exactly is going to be in the order, just, you can remove those and then test the link again. So with Melissa's, we have the link there. And we see the products that we just picked for Melissa. And then if you want to test the other one, like the one that we sent to Nick, you kind of delete all of those out. Go back to Nick's items, get that copied link, and we should just see the products that we recommended for Nick. So here are those. So that is kind of just a quick snapshot of kind of how to use these lists, the different functionality that you have available to you. They're really convenient. Like I said, you can also do all of this on mobile, so you don't even have to have the Hub app or anything like that. You can do it all through like Chrome or whatever your Safari or anything. You can do that all through your phone. And you know, the main thing is really look at what your customer is wanting and what they're asking for, and don't give them more than what they want. Really try to understand what their health goals are by asking just a few easy questions. And again, if you need advice on what questions to ask, all this information is on the Hub. Like I said, right now it's under the True Health Assessment tab. It will be getting its own tab soon. But all of this information is available for you to reference so that you can kind of get comfortable with the process, look at the best practices and what we kind of recommend. And yeah, it's actually a really great feature, and I'm really excited about it. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments, and let me know how this is working out for you. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will be talking to you next month as well about our websites as well. So I'm really excited about that as well. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.